In this reaction video, we break down intense police body cam footage of a road raging couple who refuse to cooperate, believing they're untouchable. Watch as we analyze their reckless actions, the police confrontation, and the justice that follows.
Father's Day on June 16th, 2024. Officers from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department in New Mexico were called to an alleged road rage incident where a gun was potentially involved. The callers apparently followed the alleged aggressors to their residence where a handful of officers were now heading.
This situation raises questions. Were the callers escalating the problem by following, or were they genuinely trying to help law enforcement? And I don't know about y'all, but following someone home after a road raging incident doesn't seem like something that someone should do, right? Seems like that would escalate problems, correct?
You guys don't know him, do you?
No, we're DoorDashing. We're DoorDashing right now. It's dark.
So far, it sounds like this road raging incident happened to some DoorDash drivers. You know, that's pretty sad because they deliver people food, they on the clock, you know, so they got places to be for real, you know, as soon as they could be there. So that's going to be pretty sad if it is anything against a door dashing driver, right? And it's probably never a good idea to be road raging anyone driving on the road, right? Just should not be something that we do, you know, or anybody does to people. You got to know how to stay calm when you're driving on the road like that, you know? You know, I would bet that most road raging drivers, if they got in trouble for it, I would bet you that they wished that they had never done any road rage.
After speaking briefly with the callers, this officer drives just a couple hundred yards down the same road to the residence in question. Another officer stays behind with the potential victims to gather more information off camera.
And the reason that one officer goes talk to the victim and one officer goes talk to the road ragers is because the officers have to get the story straight. They have to hear out the stories, you know, of both sides before they come to any kind of conclusion. And they have to see all the evidence, you know, everything has to be, you know, lined up, you know. Do they have footage? Is it just hearsay? You know, all this kind of stuff, you know.
Come here, keep your hands where I can see them. Keep your hands where I can see them. Come here, walk to me. Walk to me. Walk to me. Stop. Turn around. Face away from me.
What the hell is going on?
Face away from me. I'm not going to tell you again. Go to your knees.
What did I do?
So right there was footage of the cop telling the guy to walk over to him. Well, that's because, you know, to walk to him like that and do whatever is because the guy might have been armed, you know, and for the officer's safety, for everyone's safety, and for their own safety.
I'm just going to get my car out of the road, man, then I'm going to ask you what happened, okay?
Officers separated the suspect pair and questioned them individually.
Yeah.
Do you
Am I
understand?
under arrest?
Right now you are detained. You are not under arrest as of right now.
Now, can I tell you what happened?
Yes, feel free.
You already know you ran my name. I did 14 years in prison.
Okay.
I've been out over 2 years, finished my parole, never no incident.
Yeah.
I avoid that.
So this footage right here is pretty simple, right? The cops separate the two people that were supposedly the road ragers, and they talk to both of them, and they see if both their stories are the truth, like if their stories add up to be the same exact story every single time, right? And they do that to see if they're telling the truth.
Going up, and this car, the red one, comes up, and we're kind of like in the middle, so nobody like goes in front of us. And he literally like honks at us like crazy, and barely tries to push through. And I was like, "No, stop!" He pulls up, gets out of his car with a pepper spray, and I walk up to the girl, and I'm like, "Why are you even recording us?" And I turn around and come back, and I go to grab the door handle on our door, and my nail breaks.
Yeah.
Because she gets out and she starts running her mouth. I don't like confrontation.
So from that footage right there, it seems like the car tried to get in front of them or something like, or they tried to get in front of the car. Maybe they were going too slow or something like that, and maybe the driver didn't want them to, right? But you know, it sounds like she is trying to say that she does not like any, you know, rough talk with anybody, you know. So it seems like she gonna stay up out of the drama. And all that telling the cop that her nail broke and all that kind of stuff, that don't add no value to what's going on at the moment from her grabbing the door handle. That don't add no value right there for that cop. You know, that's like saying A I couldn't barely see out my glasses today. I need to wipe them off. It don't add no value. And it kind of sounded like the road rager kind of got mad at the lady for running her mouth. Which we all know, it should be simple. Stay calm on the road. Don't be getting in no heated confrontations with people, because you don't know everybody like that, and everybody don't know you like that. So that's why it's best to stay in your own lane. Go the speed limit. Don't be having no road rage with people. If somebody following you real close from behind and stuff, if you feel like they messing up your driving or something, pull over to the side, let them pass you up.
He came up and socked my hood of my truck. That's when I finally got out.
Sure.
Because up to that point, like I said, I'm on parole. But at some point, when someone's punching my truck and throwing stuff,
you got your family,
I have
right?
to get out.
No, I hear you.
They didn't hit my truck, but they bumped it.
Okay.
Right at the front.
So the cops really have to pay attention to their story, because it's a whole lot of ins and outs, right? This one did that, all this kind of stuff. But how crazy is this? He's saying that someone punched his hood on the truck. Bro, what kind of tough dude gonna just punch a hood for a road rage? And like, that don't make no sense. Who would do such a thing? You know what I mean? That don't seem like nothing that someone should be doing for sure. Punching the hood. People take care of their car. Boy, them cars, them trucks, them cars, they matter to people. Boy, they pay a lot of money for that. But this is crazy. Like, that story kind of makes me wonder of who is telling the truth at this point.
We all exchanged words and yelled and screamed, and I pushed her face or something. I don't know. I was just like, upset.
Mm-hmm. Any weapons involved?
No?
Any weapons involved?
No.
No gun, knives,
We
anything
can't
like
have guns. He's on parole.
He's on parole?
Yeah, we can't have guns. It's illegal. We'll go back to jail.
Now, what she was talking about, how she was saying that, he's on parole, the road rager, and that he can't have no weapon. Well, that ain't no joke, right? Because the cops don't play with a felon who has a weapon. All right, they not gonna play around with that at all. Them felons, a lot of times they know better.
And then I got back in the truck. We both got out because they hit our truck.
Sure.
They didn't hit it, but like right on it, bumped it.
Right.
We got back in. The guy started throwing cans at my truck.
Okay.
The whole back of my truck, the side, is full of whatever he hit it with.
Right.
He threw like 3 cans at it. I didn't throw anything at him. I didn't hit him.
Whoa, hold on. Now, this footage right here made me have to go back and rewind it. All right, because a while ago he said the guy got out and was punching on his hood. And right here, he just said that somebody was bumping it. So that right there, it ain't making no sense. And what happens when things don't make sense whenever they talking to cops? Nothing good, probably, right? The cops probably like, oh, do we got us one? Do we got us one? Do we got us, a pretty little liar?
Do you know why they would mention that there was a gun involved?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Okay. You want me to roll your window down a little bit? I'm going to go talk to him.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Dying.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, so what we seen from that footage right there was she was just having her husband's back. Maybe. Or maybe she was telling the truth. We don't know yet. I don't know yet, but y'all don't know yet. But look, all right, this is crazy because she might have her husband back right now saying, nah, they ain't got nothing involved. Nah, man, look, we going strong. We ain't got no problems. That's probably what's going on.
Do you own a firearm?
I don't. You're more than welcome to look in my house. You're more than welcome. I give you permission.
The reason I'm asking is if they do decide that they do want to obtain a warrant or something, even on the truck, are we going to find a firearm in the truck?
No, you're more than welcome to search. You don't even need a warrant.
Okay.
You can search right now. You have my permission.
This is what I want to do, but it's up to you guys. There's a mention of a firearm,
You could search my house.
and it'd be the house and the blue truck.
Yeah.
You guys
I
cool
have
with
the
that?
keys.
You're more than welcome to look anywhere. Okay. Like I said, I own nothing like that.
So right there, he probably is telling the truth, right? Because, if a convicted felon has a weapon, if the cops would start asking to search their stuff, they probably would start thinking, oh, I better say no. I better say I don't want you to be searching my stuff. That's probably what a convicted felon with a weapon probably would be thinking, right? But But the thing is, you know, if he's saying go ahead, search it, man, don't matter. Search it, it don't matter. If he's saying that, then probably he don't have anything, right? Then probably that weapon talk, you know, maybe that might not be too true.
They said that somebody else besides you two came out and pointed a gun at them. So I was trying to figure out if you know any. Okay.
Absolutely not. I'm on, like I told the other officer.
Yeah, you're on parole or whatever.
I can't have no weapons here.
Did you ever open your door and hit their car with your door? Or
No, I
anything?
did not. They hit my truck. You go look at my truck.
Okay.
It's sprayed on the side. He punched my hood over and over. That's when I got out of my truck.
So you see from this footage right here, we got another point that ain't making no sense. What he said at first. At first he said the guy was punching his truck. Then he changed the story again and said that the guy bumped into his truck. And now he's changing the story again, talking about the guy was punching on top of his hood of his truck. This ain't making no sense. You know, you only have one vehicle. Like hold on. Let's get the story straight here. Because it's not making no sense just yet, right? You gotta be able to make sense of these type of stories. You can't just be making them up as you go, because if you do something like that, you ain't gonna remember your lies that you trying to say about it. That's why it's best to tell the truth in the beginning, right? But man, we're gonna find out what's going on here. You know, his story is not, you know, adding up to me. Like, nah, it's really not.
Home.
The wife already admitted to me too. She's like, yeah, I did slap like the phone out of that girl's hand, stuff like that. And then they kind of like fought or whatever.
I don't think they fought. I don't know. I was just keeping an eye on the dude because he kept punching my truck.
All right.
So you see how the cop is questioning him about his woman getting in the altercation with the other woman, the other driver of the vehicle, right? You see how he's questioning him about that? That's because he's trying to see if his story is going to add up to be her story, the same exact story. And what's going on right here, chat? Like, what's going on right here? We all just seen that, right? He said he don't really know if anything like that happened. Yeah, he got his wife's back, right? But his wife already done said that she got into the altercation with the woman. So now, what is he gonna say to that next? You know what I mean? Like whenever the cop said, oh, well, your wife already said that she already got into the altercation with her. Now you saying that you don't know because you were watching the dude. How close could you watch a dude and not notice what's going on around you? You know what I mean? That's how it's not making any sense.
So on video, this dude like opens the door intentionally and hits their car.
Actually, 2 more, because I think he did it twice.
How much damage are we thinking?
I don't know.
More or less than 500
Cost to fix it.
1,000.
So from the footage we just seen right there, supposedly the alleged victim said that he opened up his door and hit her car twice in the same spot, and supposedly she got that spot on her car. Well, they gonna get into all that too. We ain't finishing there yet. So look, guess what? If they go look and see them marks, man, he might have to pay up, you know, some money. He might have to pay a fine or something for doing that. But what they just said just now, right? They said it might be over $1,000, right? I think anything over $1,000 becomes a felony. Like anything, like if you you know, like get in trouble and then have criminal damage that you had done that's over $1,000 and stuff, that might be a felony. You know, that might be a felony. So the thing is, you know, if you get in trouble for that felony and you already had prior felonies and you're on parole and everything, boy, you might not be the best type of person to be going up in the courtroom in front of a judge, right? Because you might have to go to jail or something like that. You never know. That's why you want to stay away from bad choices, and stuff like that.
You're good to go. Just go back inside. Sorry, whatever you want to do.
Sorry, my seat. Your seat is sweating.
Oh, that's all right.
So right there, in that footage right there, they just probably letting that woman go back inside her house. You know, she ain't got to worry no more about herself getting in trouble, right? So that's what they probably, just saying, hey, go ahead. It's your husband that's probably gonna be in trouble for something, something like that, right? But man, that it's crazy because she's the one that said that she got in the altercation. So what's gonna happen behind that, we gonna see. But usually, whenever it's an altercation or something like that, you know, it's like I would think the person that gets in the altercation and does whatever the bad things that they do, I think that they would be the ones to get in trouble, right? But you know, with him opening and closing his door and hitting that lady's car, you know, right now they are all, the cops are worried about him with what he did. You know, what went wrong with over there.
There's video footage of you like hitting their car with your car door. So,
But I didn't. When they were right next to me, I opened my truck door to get out, but I didn't hit their car door with it. You can look at the video closely. I know for a fact I did not.
Well,
But what happens about them hitting my truck?
again, that's why I need to go down there. So I'm going to put you in the car. We're going to go down there. I'm going to watch the video over.
You can see on the video, I opened it, and when I stood on my running boards, you could see I couldn't get out.
Oh snap. Hold your horses. Hold up, everybody. Did we all just hear the same thing? Or was I tripping? Nah, I know I wasn't tripping, and I know y'all wasn't tripping. So look here. That cop just broke it down to him, right? They got him on video opening and closing the door on the lady's car. So that is some facts behind it, right? Evidence behind it. So that means that he might have to pay up some money, or he might even have to go to jail for something like that. That's why you never want to put yourself in those type of situations, ever.
I started recording right after that because I didn't know they were gonna hit the fucking car like that.
Look at you. Back. Oh, it's a racist. Yeah, it is.
You got the wrong one. Don't worry. You got the wrong one.
Oh snap, that is where the line was crossed, right? She got him on record on her phone or whatever that was, a little camera or something, mini camera or something. On record, bro. Like showing him opening up his door and probably hitting her car right then and there. That's some evidence that they could go off of. And then they got the woman getting up out of her car, out of the truck, right? Out of his truck. And then going up to the woman that's recording and knocking the phone out of hand, bro. You gotta be kidding me. Ain't no kind of way that just happened like that. Ain't no kind of way. Like, for her to have that much nerve to get up out that truck on the road where people are driving at, take everybody's time and go knock that cell phone out of that woman's hand like that, bro, that's some freaking nerve. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it like this. That's some freaking nerve.
After his arrest, he was charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property valued less than $1,000 and 2 counts of battery. He entered a not guilty plea the same day. New Mexico court websites indicate he was released the next day.
So from that footage that we just watched right there about, his charges and everything like that, bro, that is really crazy, right? So at first they were saying it might be over $1,000 in damage, right? So that would have been that would have been a felony. But because it was under $1,000 in damage, he was good to go, right? Like that's good. So he ended up making his way out the next day out of the jail cell where he had to probably go that night and everything like that, which is sad, like for anybody, hopefully he's making way better decisions and everything, but this ain't over yet. Let's see what they got next. Hold up here.
The case file handling his newly acquired charges, the prosecutor failed to show up to court, causing the case to be dropped and deeming him not guilty to all charges. As for his wife, there are currently no records of her battery charge listed on court websites, meaning the court either decided to drop the case, she made a plea agreement to take the charge off her record, or the documentation has not been filed yet.
So that's pretty fortunate, right? The prosecutor didn't show up, so he got to be able to drop his case and not have to worry about any of those legal type of things that he was going to possibly have to worry about with that type of situation right there. But that's fortunate, right? A lot of people, they don't get fortunate, right? Like that fortunate, to where the prosecutor don't show up to do their case, so the case gets dropped. Like, you gotta be kidding me, But the thing here is, what kind of prosecutor is that? But the thing is, right here, bro, in this video, it stands the reason of why you shouldn't road rage nobody. Yeah, he got fortunate, with the prosecutor not showing up, and all that. But the main thing right here, bro, is to not have no kind of road rage, with nobody. That way you can stay out of situations that's like that, And if you ever find yourself, where a road rage is behind you, trying to rush you and everything, just pull over to the side of the road, let them go in front of you, and then go on about your day, man. Don't be getting in no kind of no kind of argument with a road rager, and don't be following them home and trying to go argue with them and everything. All that could possibly do is escalate the situation, I would believe. But yeah, man, do y'all thing.